We talked about data. Who is going to give the right information and people data to this OCM sitting independently, getting a holistic perspective? I don't think HR teams are fully ready. I don't think even all HR teams right now have the capability to understand the complexity of OCM to even strike that partnership, or the complexity of impacts of technology to strike that
Right.
partnership.
We've made it over the years as a side of the desk kind of activity and delegated it down. I think it's really critical that the organizational change management and HR and IT are all unified with finance and marketing. Those are the key. Those are the ones that when you get all of that together into a room and you start looking at what does the data look like, you are now unifying it as a system, right? But I would argue that we have a lot of data in our organizations and most of it's mismanaged and a lot of it's garbage. So every organization that is embarking on a digital transformation is embarking on that in order to have this achieved, scalability. They're looking at building and growing. So if you have bad data, you're just going to scale bad data. If you have poor interconnections and interdependencies and processes and procedures, you're going to scale that. If you have crappy governance, you're going to scale that. The whole deal is to really, if you're going to do this, you have to start small and you have to look big. Start early. We need to really, truly understand the impact to the organization at a very micro level before we embark on running straight forward, which is counter to what most organizations feel they need in order to be competitive in the market today. There's a real challenge there. It's incredibly difficult to convince an executive that you have to wait, let's slow down and put on the brakes because we have to do this first. However, if you had that organizational change body, if you had a group that was already understanding the organization, understanding it well, and working tightly with HR and IT, here's what you would achieve. You would be able to lessen that time of impact. But if you keep bringing people outside, throwing them under a project manager in IT, you don't already have the basis from which you can manage change quickly.